So welcome back. We will now move on to the second lecture of autocorrelation where we will explain the causes of autocorrelation. So as I said earlier, autocorrelation refers to the correlation between members of series of observations ordered in time, there you have serial correlation, or ordered according to space, where you have spatial correlation. And See, now we move on to the causes of autocorrelation. The major causes of autocorrelation are inertia, specification bias, the excluded variable case, specification bias, the incorrect functional form, presence of lags in the regression model, manipulation of data, and data transformation. So we will explain each one in detail. So first is inertia. So what is inertia? So we say there will be if the starting problem or the difficulty to get initiated of an in this context, in the context of an economic variable, we will say that inertia is the difficulty in getting into getting started of an economic variable, and once it gets started, it will be either moving continuously or in the upward position, or it will be moving in the downward position. That is, the salient feature of most economic time series is inertia or sluggishness. So you know all the well-known time series, that is GNB or price indices, production, employment, etc., exhibits business cycles. Now suppose you are in a recession, starting at the bottom of recession, when economic recovery starts, most of the series start moving upwards. So once an economic series starts moving upward, it means that the value of a series at one point of time is greater than its previous value. Then the successive random variables are likely to be interdependent. And similarly, if you are in a boom and you are moving downwards, a recessionary trend is starting, and then you know that all these economic time series variables will be coming down, as what we see in the current scenario of pandemic. The macroeconomic variables, GDP, employment, investment, everything is coming down. So in such case, the value of a series at one point of time is lower than its previous value. Here also the successive random terms are likely to be interdependent. So if you plot the error terms in a diagram, in a positive autocorrelation, we will see that on one axis if you plot u, the error term, and on the other axis if you plot time, we will see that if you plot it, you will be having an increasing what function. Now the u will be increasing over time, and that is called positive autocorrelation. Similarly, if by plotting the u across time, the u is coming down, that is the linear trend shows a negative relation, we say there is a negative autocorrelation. So it can also be the dots or the points, the data points can be increasing, reaching a maximum, coming down, then again increasing. So if your data exhibits such a pattern, it is called cyclical autocorrelation. And if there is no such pattern is discernible, or you don't have any explicit pattern when you plot the error term across time, it means that the dots or the data points will be randomly distributed. There won't be any pattern that is coming out. In such case, we say there is no autocorrelation. So you can refer basic econometrics by Damodar Gujarati and have a look at the diagram. So the first reason for what autocorrelation is what you call inertia or sluggishness of macroeconomic time series data. And the second reason is specification bias, the excluded variable case. So normally when you run a regression, you will know what are the relevant variables that are affecting your dependent variable y. You say y is a function of x1 and x2. For example, consumption is the dependent variable. It is a function of income and prices of commodities. So you will model in your equation as y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x1 or beta 1 x1 or beta 2 x2, something like that you model. And suppose there is a very important variable affecting consumption, maybe the recession, this pandemic that is happening, and you are not including that the effect of the pandemic on consumption behavior of the consumers, then this effect will be reflected in the random term u. And in such case you say there is an excluded variable case, a variable that is very pertinent or relevant to the dependent variable is excluded from the regression equation, and in that case the effect of this variable will be felt in the random term. And this is a case of a specification bias. There is some error in specifying the model in terms of excluded variable. In that case, because of the presence of that relevant variable in the random term, you will say that U will be autocorrelated. So that's what I have written. If relevant variables are excluded, it will have an effect on the random variable and hence it will be autocorrelated. Now, for example, see yt is a function of x2, x3 and x4, where y is the quantity of beef demanded, x2 is the price of beef, x3 is the consumer's income and x4 is the price of pork. So quantity demanded of beef is a function of price of beef, consumer's income and price of pork. And the model is written as yt is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2t plus beta 3 x3t plus beta 4 x4t plus ut. So the influence of price of beef on the quantity of beef demanded is represented by beta 2, the slope coefficient. Influence of the price of the consumer's income on quantity of beef demanded is represented by beta 3, the slope coefficient, and x4, the influence of x4, that is price of pork on the quantity of beef demanded, is represented by beta 4. And this is the model. And suppose we are not including x4, that's a price of pork. You know, the price pork is a substitute good for beef, and if you are including or excluding the price of pork, what happens? Let us see. So however, for some reason we select the following model: yt is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2t plus beta 3 x3t plus vt. So what happens? You are excluding the price of pork, that is x4. So if the first equation is correct, and running this equation is same as letting bt is equal to beta 4 x4t plus ut. So the error term will now include the influence of x4, that is the price of pork. And to the extent the price of pork affects the consumption of beef, the disturbance term will reflect a systemic pattern that's exhibiting autocorrelation. Okay, so UT will be having the influence of what? The major factor that is included in UT will be the excluded variable, that is price of pork here. And you know, price of pork in one period will be dependent upon price of pork, its own price in the previous period, and hence it will be autocorrelated. So the error term will be including what? All the excluded variables in the model. So in such case, another reason for autocorrelation is specification bias or excluded variable case. And now we will move on to the third cause of autocorrelation, that is specification bias incorrect functional form. Now suppose, now here the reason is again the bias in specifying the regression equation, but here what you do is that it is the incorrect functional form. The original or the true functional form may be a linear equation, but you are using a curve to estimate the model, or the original equation may be cubic in nature, but you are using a linear equation to represent the phenomena. And in that case, you will have what is called specification bias incorrect functional form. Now, suppose the true model in a cost study is MC, marginal cost is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 output plus beta 3 output square plus U. So you know marginal cost is a function of output and MC is a curve. To represent the curve, you are taking what that function output square. Now only then you will get what, if you plot this equation, you will get what, a curve of marginal cost. But suppose instead of that we fit the following model. Marginal cost is equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 2 output plus B. Then what happens here? See, you have skipped beta 3 output square, and the influence of beta 3 output square will be represented or reflected in V. The excluded variable here is output square and its influence will be reflected in V. And you know then what happens, because the error term contains a dominant determining variable, it will be autocorrelated. So if you plot the first equation, you will have a curve, and if you plot the second equation, you will get a linear relation. And so you can just check the textbook and you will find how the linear equation, in the first case it is an underestimate of the true relation, and in the second case in some portion of the curve it will be an overestimation of the true relation, and after that again how it will be an underestimate of the true relation. So please check the textbook. Okay, so that's a third reason, specification bias incorrect functional form. And now we move on to the next reason for autocorrelation. It's called the lags. Now you know the importance of using lagged variables in economics, because the lagged variables, for example, consumption, you say consumption, cons sorry, so consumption, so consumption in the current period is a function of consumption in the previous period, both in terms of durable goods and in terms of non-durable goods. Similarly, you know the price of a commodity is dependent on its own previous value. We say inflation feeds upon itself. So lags form a very important determining factor once you model macroeconomic variables. So, how does the influence of lags affect autocorrelation? Now, suppose you are taking a consumption model. Now, I'm not writing the equation. You can just listen. Suppose the true model is Ct is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 y plus beta 3 Ct minus 1 plus ut. You can just write it down. Ct is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 y plus beta 3 Ct minus 1 plus ut. So what does this mean? Ct, consumption, is a function of beta 2 y, income is a determining variable, and the next variable is what? Check the equation, it is Ct minus 1, lagged value of consumption. So consumption is a function of income and its own previous value. So that's very true. And now if we neglect the lag term, what happens? So then it becomes Ct is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 y plus we write a new error term Vt. And the dominant factor in the Vt will be the lagged consumption that we have skipped. Clear? Original model is Ct as a function of y and Ct minus 1, and what we are using is Ct as a function of y. So the influence of Ct minus 1 will be reflected in the error term, and hence the error term will reflect a systematic pattern due to the influence of lagged consumption on current income. Now if we ignore the lags, its influence will be reflected in the error term. So I hope you have an understanding of the influence of lags as an important determinant of what reason for autocorrelation. Now we will move on to the next factor, that is cobweb phenomena. So what is cobweb phenomena? You have studied this thing. Supply of agricultural commodities is dependent upon the price of the commodity in the previous period. If the price was high in the previous period, PT minus 1, then what happens? So farmers take it as what, a motivation or a clue or a price signaling mechanism. They will supply more in the current period ST. And then what happens? There may be a fall in price. So this fall in price in the current period will provide signal to the farmer for his production in the next period. So he will reduce his supply in the next period. So this thing goes on, cobweb phenomena. So we can write the cobweb equation as ST is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 PT minus 1 plus UT. Once again, I'll repeat. ST is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 PT minus 1 plus UT. ST is the supply of agricultural products. PT minus 1 is the price of the agricultural product in the previous period. And now if you are not using this equation in the correct form, then what happens? The influence, as we have explained earlier, the influence of the omitted variables will be seen in what, UT, or because time is a very important factor in affecting what, the supply of agricultural product. The effect of the price in the last period will be felt in the supply decision in the current period. Again, that is what uh, a way by which you can explain autocorrelation. So cobweb model is an example of how the reason for explanation of the reason for autocorrelation. Then you can also have manipulation of data. Now, and researchers often manipulate data for their purpose. Now, for example, suppose you are depending on census data, and you know census data is published only once in 10 years. So, and I want data for 5 years. For example, infant mortality rate in 2011, 2015, 2021. So there is no option for me. You will have data only for 2011 and 2015. I'm sorry, 21. So in order to get the data for 2015, I'll find out an average of the infant mortality rate in 2011 and 2021. So this creates problem. So, and that problem in the manipulation of data will be reflected in the error term, and once you use such type of data, you will have this autocorrelation problem. And then similarly is the case with data transformation also. Now you are transforming from one type of data to another data type. While doing this, also there may be chances of what, differences, the original data and in the new data. Maybe you are using some scaling technique or converting qualitative data into quantitative data. Now all these errors that happen in your manipulation of data and data transformation gets reflected in what, your error term, and the error term will be auto-correlated. So these are the major reasons for autocorrelation. So I'll sum up. Autocorrelation refers to the relationship between the same series of observations. Relation Autocorrelation refers to correlation between the same series of observation, and in the regression context we say the random terms if they are dependent. The series of the U series or the random term series, if they are dependent on each other, we say there exists autocorrelation. We will say expected value of Ui Uj not equal to 0, and the major reasons for autocorrelation are the existence of inertia in time series econometric variables, macroeconomic variables. Secondly, specification bias, one in terms of incorrect, excluded variables. When you exclude relevant variables in a regression equation, autocorrelation can occur. Secondly, excluded variables in the case of incorrect functional form. Thirdly, if you are not using the relevant lags in your model, that may autocorrelation may happen. Fourthly, in cobweb models, the phenomena of autocorrelation is very rampant. Then we can, when the data is manipulated or transformed also, this can happen. So these are the basic causes. So please do read Damodar Gujarati's book on introductory part of autocorrelation and then causes of autocorrelation. Then you will have a good understanding of the whole thing. And don't worry, if you have any doubts or any clarification, we will talk in detail when we meet, or we will have a doubt clearing session. And now we will move on to, in the next class we will have to discuss now why this problem is very important. Now why are we so much worried about autocorrelation? So it means autocorrelation have some consequences. So we will have to look into that, and then how do you detect the presence of autocorrelation, that is test for autocorrelation, and then we will have to move on to the solutions of autocorrelation. But before that, we will discuss a topic which is called first order autoregressive scheme. See, if the error in this period is dependent upon its own value in the immediate previous period, we say it is first order autoregressive scheme, ut as a function of ut minus 1. So if you say that ut is a function of dependent on its own previous values in two periods, say it is a second order autoregressive scheme. That is, ut is a function of ut minus 1 and ut minus 2. So similarly, what is third order autoregressive scheme? Ut is a function of ut minus 1, ut minus 2 and ut minus 3. So in general, if you say ut is dependent upon its own previous value up to pth period, you say this autocorrelation is of order p, ARP. So there you say ut is a function of ut minus 1, ut minus 2, ut minus 3, etc., ut minus p. So autoregressive scheme can range from ARS1 to ARSP, and we have to specifically look into ARS1 if you have to study or understand the consequences of autocorrelation. So that we will do in the next class. So okay, thank you so much.